everybody, and welcome to this fantastic episode of the fantastic Train Sim News Show. In this fantastic episode, we'll not only be covering the fantastic Class 91 Enhancement Pack by the Armstrong Powerhouse, but we'll also be covering the fantastic Class 313. Well, not the fantastic 313, the Armstrong Powerhouse Wagons one. Sorry if I got any of you confused, the actual fantastic 313 is still in development. I'll also give you a review of the fantastic Mark II pack released also by the Armstrong Powerhouse, and other general Dovetail news and mishaps. So, what should we begin with today? Oh yeah, why it's taken me such a long time to actually finish making this episode? Well, there have been many factors delaying this episode. I got a cold, again, family members unwell, lack of motivation and ideas for presentation, but one of the bigger reasons why is that. Yeah, I recently fixed up my Game Boy emulator and I've been playing through Megaman 02 and I've been loving the game so much, especially messing around with Game Shark codes. I don't really feel bad for using them because I've already completed the game twice before even testing it on the emulator, but I've been having so much fun that to the date of me making this recording, I've completed the game about 2.5 times. So yeah, go figure. But now I'm motivated and ready to talk about Train Sim once again. So how should we start off this episode then? How about talking about some Dovetail twaddle? Yeah, just like the good old days. Now, I've decided I'm going to focus my main discussion of Dovetail Twaddle on the Class 150 add-on that they've announced, and if I'm slow enough making this episode, released. Partly because of personal preference, but mostly due to the fact that whilst I'm aware that many of you want me to tear apart these 4 recently announced add-ons here, I think I'm going to save some time and label them all as scams. There is no need to make another Class 67 no matter how many wagons you make, and with only 1 livery. There is no reason why this S-Bahn branch should have been left off the original Hamburg to Lübeck route. The South Wales Coastal still looks like it was released in 2012. I mean, why does it still have the London to Brighton track textures and non-matching ballast? And haven't we had this train before already? So, the Class 150. The Class 150 is a train that already exists for Train Simulator. Now really, look, right here. You can buy it right now if you wanted to. If I can recall correctly, it was made sometime in 2012, maybe 2011? I can't remember, but they then updated it in 2013. Not a huge bunch, but I thought it was alright when it first came out, even without the Armstrong Powerhouse sound pack. So it was sort of in a similar ballpark of the Class 156, and like the Class 156, it had multiple liveries, and both the older style of headlights and the newer LED ones. Alright, that's good! The only major problem was, well, 1, it didn't even have a passenger view, and 2, they forgot to include the Variant 1 and the Variant 0. I'm assuming that Thompson forgot about those 2 variants. And a mere 4 years later, Dovetail are here to fix this vital issue by only including the Variant 1, the 2-car one obviously, not the 3-car one, that would be a bit too much work, with 1 headlight style and 1 livery, and expect me to take them seriously. Or, at the very least, they're expecting me to react like this.
Haha! The fun has been doubled!
When actually my reaction is more closer to this. Though maybe we should give them the benefit of the doubt, or maybe a bit of leeway. Perhaps there are some major differences between the Variant 1 and the Variant 2 that are enough for them to be sold separately. Alright then, let's go to the railwaycentre.com, a site I used to go on a lot when I was younger, and I don't think anyone really cares for it now, to its traction recognition and look at the technical data between the Class 150 Variant 1 and the Variant 2. For the sake of comparison, both of these units are 2 coaches long. So let's take a look at the relevant information to us. Let's see. Right, vehicle lengths are the same, height is the same, width is the same. Oh, would you look at that, there's a slight difference in the seating. The 150 Variant 1 is designed to carry cattle, but the Variant 2 is designed to carry passengers or cattle. The 150 Variant 2 can also carry slightly more at maximum. Okay. The 150 Variant 2s are gangwayed throughout, and the 150 Variant 1s are only within the set. You can't travel between two units, basically. Same number of toilets at the same location. 150 Variant 2 is actually slightly lighter than the Variant 1. Only a couple of tons in it. I'm not really sure if it would make a noticeable difference in performance and acceleration. Well, probably would in the long term, but I'm not really too sure if it really applies in the short term that much. Alright, same type of brakes, same bogies, same engine, transmission, same horsepower, maximum speed, coupling, multiple restriction, door type, body structure, owner, and slightly different operators. Let's highlight those differences again. Not many, to say the least. Certainly not enough to sell these trains separately. To make matters worse, there was actually a Class 150 add-on for MSTS, made by Making Tracks. In that pack, you got the 150 Variant 0, 1 and 2, with a total of 15 liveries, 11 for the Variant 0 and 1, and 4 for the Variant 2. And how much did that pack cost? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You pay less, and you get more! Hell, I wouldn't even mind if this pack costs $11.99, at least I get multiple liveries and look! Different headlight variants! Why is it so taboo for these people to release add-ons with multiple liveries or multiple variants in one pack like this? Ooh, but Daniel, you say, that's what the marketplace is for, right? F*** off! I got a better suggestion than the Train Simulator marketplace. Why not be focused on producing a quality product that people will enjoy and has a huge amount of realism with multiple variants, multiple liveries, and overall just being a good product instead of deliberately making it worse so you can make more money later. Mind you, some people are happy to see this train finally coming to Train Simulator again. In fact, this guy over here has already planned some reskins to do of this train, even though it hasn't even come out yet. What the hell? Talk about an unhealthy consumer. That's like saying, I'm going to jump off this cliff, Assassin's Creed style, and it'll be all fine because somebody might put a haystack at the bottom. I mean, it happened a couple of times before, what's to stop it happening again? Yeah, that's why. One last thing to say, which is mainly aimed towards the article. Well, they say article, it's more like a paraphrased description from Wikipedia. It's nice to see Dovetail throwing around the word iconic like a used condom all of a sudden. Calling the 150 iconic is like calling Albus Oil iconic. And yes, thank you very much for mentioning the Class 950. You know, that Class 150 which is used on departmental services. Totally not a missed opportunity, right? Well, better a missed opportunity than a fantastic missed opportunity. Well, on the plus side, at least the Eye Valley has another train to use, I guess. In other news, Just Trains are making a brand new route, and it happens to be the Chiltern Main Line, a route that I've used in an example in a previous episode. Woo! Say, let's check out some of those pictures that they've posted of this upcoming route. I'm kinda curious to see if they've improved from the Western Main Line. Never mind, pretend I didn't say anything. Well, now it's time for me to begin these Armstrong Powerhouse reviews. Let's start with the Class 313. Oh, sorry, the fantastic Class 313. So this Armstrong Powerhouse Wagons add-on has been in development for quite some time. I don't exactly know when they started. I think it was just before the 456 was finished. But anyway, people were hyped for it, and it was released about several weeks ago, I guess, if my memory serves right. Right off the bat, I can at least say that the textures and the modelling look pretty good, as expected, and they've included every single livery except this one and this one. I guess they were limited and contrived. You know, unlike this one. I guess it's not the end of the world then. Hold on a second, what did you say? Blue Whale Studios have done a network rail reskin of the 313? Sweet. Let me just quickly download it and use it for 10. Yeah, I wasn't even interested in the first place. Another thing to say is that I do like in their showcasing images how they have the trains in very similar positions to one another. I like it presentation wise. It also means I can do something like this with them. In fact, editing this I've realised it looks even cooler when you speed it up and loop it a few times. I will never get tired of Sony Vegas. Let's get back on topic. Let's actually drive the fantastic Class 313 for Train Simulator and see what's what. Okay, we're in the cab. Let's just move that reverser and well, why isn't it moving? Why is the reverser stuck? It won't move off from the off position. This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the fantastic features in the fantastic Class 313. In order to move the reverser from off to neutral, or from forward to neutral I think as well, you need to hold the DSD lever down by pressing the F key. Now it didn't take me too long to get me accustomed to this feature, kinda like how I got used to the weird homing attack controls in Sonic Unleashed. And just like Sonic Unleashed, there was a certain question that appeared in my head when I found out about this change, or at least implementation in this case, and that was why? Why was this feature implemented? I don't really feel more involved by holding down one extra key to move the reverser back and forth. In fact, if this train was fully compatible with the rail driver, that would just be another key to assign, if anything. I'm not angry or annoyed or anything, I'll live. I'm just a bit confused as to why this was implemented. Whilst we're in a cab, I will say that the cab textures are pretty good, but yeah, they're kinda dwarfed by the 205 cab textures. Consistency! The sounds are also pretty good as well, especially the in-cab sounds, and the run sounds at high speed, though the motors do sound, well, off to say the least. It's not that hard to notice if you do something as simple as compare it to the real thing. Yeah, but as I said before, the run sounds at high speed are really good. I like them a lot. The passenger view is also really nice as well. Wait a second, there is no passenger view. May I ask why? Oh, we want to put you more in a driving experience. Do you now? Well, okay. It's true that in real life, a driver is not capable of teleporting from the cab whilst still driving the train directly onto the passenger seats. Though I guess you have no problem with a driver being able to drive a train at 75 miles an hour and use Zawado to stop time and then make a duplicate copy of himself to move through the stop time and look back and see how handsome he looks whilst he's still driving the train at 75 miles an hour and then fly away from the train that he's driving, obviously, no clipping through telephone wires, hedges, fences, trees, trespassing onto private property without anybody knowing, and getting into a good position to film the train he is driving, obviously, whilst getting the angle and the zoom of his camera just right to film himself driving the train he is driving, and obviously giving himself a two-tone whilst he's driving the train he's obviously filming. Nobody complains about having a free roaming camera like that because it, well, clearly doesn't detract from the realism. Yes, it's unrealistic in real life, but this is a simulator, a game if you will. There are certain tolerances allowed here and there, and having a free roaming camera is one of them. A similar situation can apply to FSX as well. Take a look at these pictures I've taken, completely unrealistic to take in real life. Likewise, adding a passenger view doesn't detract from the driving experience. You're seeing the journey from the passenger's perspective, and most of the people who play Train Simulator usually ride trains as passengers. There are definitely some drivers or guards, or even signallers here or there, but most of us are passengers. And I do like riding a journey on a train from the passenger's perspective. It's the one that's the most relatable to me. If you wanted to focus purely on the driving experience, well, you wouldn't even allow the player to pause the game, or even restart. You can't pause or restart in real life, so why should we allow it on the Train Simulator? Or better yet, why bother modelling the exterior, just model the cab? And we already have a game that's sort of on that line. It's called BVE, and it's free, so that idea has already kind of been taken. Though maybe you can take the idea of not letting the player to pause for your next train that the Armstrong Powerhouse and or Wagons plan to make. Which, I'm gonna take a stab of a guess and say the 319. Oh, and speaking of making it the ultimate driving experience, watch what happens when the Class 313 passes through a neutral section. Bugger all, that's what happens! Now look at the Class 92 that has been enhanced with the Armstrong Powerhouse sound pack. Oh, it reacts to the neutral section. Again, consistency! Neutral sections are hardly gimmicks. They're used to split up the railway electrification into different phases, if I'm correct. I'll link some information about neutral sections down below in the description. I mean, if AP worked out the script to get trains to react to neutral sections, why wouldn't they give it to Wagons? It seems a bit odd, to say the least. It would explain why the Class 90 hasn't received an update to react to neutral sections. Mind you, it has received an update recently, but more on that later. Also, do you remember the Class 205 they released earlier? It had a functional, or in a way semi-functional, NRN cab radio. And once again, the NRN cab radio is hardly a gimmick. I mean, by today's standards, it's out of date, of course. You know, GSM R Master Race. But a gimmick? Nah. So, have they implemented this actually good feature onto the 313? No. Can I just say, I'm really glad none of you ever invented the wheel, because you just forget to use it again. It could be your new slogan, let's innovate, once. Another thing to ask, what happened to the visual aids? You know, these ones? The 321 has the option of turning them on, as seen here, but why not the 313? Was it really that intensive? And lastly, what happened to the 314, 315, 507 and 508? These trains are so similar to the 313. It seems rather greedy to not include them. There are differences between them, hell yeah, but enough to be all left out? I don't think so. I guess my predictions were right about how this family of trains will be sold on Train Simulator. What happened here? Was it rushed? Problems in development? Something doesn't seem right with this add-on. It's not god-awful. In fact, in most cases, it's not even that bad. But it feels as if there's quite a fair amount of room for improvement in this add-on. It's definitely drivable, I'll give it that. But the criticisms I have definitely make it worthy of rating it as decent instead of good, according to my scale. Let us move on to critique the Class 91 sound pack. Oh, sorry, the fantastic Class 91 Enhancement Pack. So, the Class 91, when it first came out, was, well, rubbish to say the least. It's almost as if Dovetail were doing their best to cut as many corners as possible. It was the add-on that made me lose trust with them, which was odd because I'm not even a humongous fan of the Class 91. Here's a fun fact for ya. When I was younger, I used to think that the blunt end was both squashed and retractable, due to the way it looked. Originally, the Class 91 was awful, the sounds were rubbish, it was unpleasant to drive, and according to one of the texture files, it was originally going to be in the East Coast livery, if you look right here, but obviously East Coast wouldn't give their permission to use the logos, so it was quick fixed into the Intercity livery, and it looks more washed out than the Game Boy Advance's screen. Enter the Armstrong Powerhouse a few years later to introduce this sound pack, which, to be completely honest, I think this is the best sound pack the Armstrong Powerhouse have done to date in terms of sound quality and features. It is nice to be able to drive the Intercity 225 set without cringing. The run sounds are recorded well, the horns are good, and you can even hear the wind noise at high speed. It sounds almost like the real thing passing by as well. You can also turn off the DSD, finally. You have more accurate physics and better braking. Also included are some extra liveries that are set up to work with the sound pack, including a much better Intercity livery. And they also added visual aids. Hang on, wait a second. Visual aids? Let me just quickly check. They did! Okay. It's fine to add visual aids on the 91, but not on the 313? It also reacts to neutral sections. Wait, what? Consistency! They also made it easier to switch between the normal end and the blunt end when running on the 91. That I appreciate as well. Wow, a sound pack I actually like. Once again, I'm not a humongous fan of the Class 91, but if we're gonna be stuck in this business model, at least they can still create a quality product. Business model aside, the same concept issue I mentioned with the 442 sound pack still applies here as well, but just like the 442, at least the 91 is drivable now. And it's all yours for $4.99.
Nope.
Wait, what?
Nope.
No, I heard you the first time, engineer. Every Armstrong Powerhouse sound pack has been priced at a $5, and it's very unlikely they'd make any changes to that. I'll even look on the page right now. See? $9.90. What? Yeah, it turns out that this is not a sound pack. It's not even an M&S sound pack. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Class 91 Enhancement Pack. Ugh. You can't make this stuff up! Now, some of you may be asking, what makes an enhancement pack different from a sound pack or a sound pack pro? Well, to throw the Armstrong Powerhouse a bone here, they've kindly done something that any theist, conspiracy whack job, new ager or flat earther could only dream of doing. They defined their terms, right here in this wall of text. I'm going to skip the first paragraph since it is fairly redundant.
From when we started producing sound packs in 2008, they have evolved to feature higher quality sounds, new features, improved physics, and sometimes new liveries, whilst at the time retaining the $4.99 price tag.
Yeah, that's correct. No problems with the post so far.
We feel it is now time to start distinguishing these more comprehensive packs and our older sound packs.
Okay then. How will you do that? I mean, what was wrong with looking at the product description and or looking at the upload date of the trailer?
With enhancement packs, it'll be offering the complete package, rather than just focusing on sounds.
Excuse me? Are you implying that from now on, sound packs and sound pack pros will be sold in an incomplete manner, thanks to enhancement packs? Well then, defend this. This is the 303 sound pack you made. It's a standard sound pack, not a pro sound pack, but look what you've included!
One way we are looking to do this is that on top of the exciting new features and physics we usually supply, we will also look to provide a comprehensive set of new liveries for you to use straight out of the box.
Ah, I see. So Pro Packs will no longer have content that you've been including for some time, so it can be sold at another grade of quality where you're jumping around hyping it up as if it's something brand new and innovative. You know, maybe I am actually playing Megaman X6, it certainly feels like it.
To reflect this increase in quality, and also the extra features which have been appearing in the last couple of years, Enhancement Packs will be available at a base price of $7.99. We'll be kicking off this new range in bumper style with our Class 91 Mark IV Enhancement Pack. With this effectively being 2 packs in one, this pack will retail for $9.99, which we're sure you'll agree is still
fantastic
value.
No. And yes, in a way it is 2 packs in one, but consider this. What very specific person would ask you, can you please make a sound pack for the Class 91, but whatever you do, don't make any sound modifications to the Mark IVs or the Mark IV DVT. That's a very specific request. Yes, Class 91s are capable of running on their own, but most of the time they're in that Intercity 225 set formation. As you might be able to tell, I'm not too fond of this new scheme they have. To put it simply, I fail to see how an enhancement pack is different to a sound pack. Yes, 91 Enhancement Pack is really good, but in terms of features, how is it much different to, I don't know, the 66 sound pack? Or the 67 sound pack? Or the 92 sound pack? Yeah, do you see what I'm trying to get at to you? It seems as if the only difference between them is the name. Almost as if you wanted to up the price of your products, but you don't have the balls to say it. Instead, you're sugarcoating it in a Enhancement Pack flavour, which tastes exactly like the Pro Pack flavours. Please, tell me one thing the 91 Enhancement Pack does that has never been done by anyone in Train Simulator before. Name one. Thank you very much. You know what, how about I list the current sound packs the Armstrong Powerhouse are selling that do more than just enhance the sounds. You know, such as new liveries, physics, textures, etc, etc. Okay, there's the first generation DMU sound pack, Class 303 sound pack, the Class 319-325 sound pack, the Networker sound pack, the Class 442 sound pack, the Class 31 sound pack, Class 37, 52, 60, 66, 67, and 92! Why not class those ones as enhancement packs, since they clearly do more than just improve the sounds? They're clearly enhancing the experience. I think it only makes sense to call those enhancement packs as well and bump the price up to $7.99 or even $9.99, or why stop there? Why not charge them at $11.99? Also, if you don't mind me asking, are you going to cut corners when you make your enhancement packs as opposed to pro packs? Or should I say, cut more corners or less corners? For example, with the 91 enhancement pack, it would appear you couldn't be bothered to record sounds for the passenger view. Instead, you decided to take the dovetail route and just put in muffled exterior sounds for the passenger view. Oh man, it's almost like we're approaching Porsche territory or something.
£44,000, you don't even get door handles.
And what about those sound packs that are currently in development? Or ones that you've just started recording for? Are they going to be sound packs, sound pack pros, or enhancement packs? Which to me kind of translates to saying how much effort is going to be put into this add-on, or how many corners are going to be cut during the development of this. And sorry, but I don't feel confident asking a question like that. Is expecting 100% effort 100% of the time a bit too much to ask? Not perfection, just effort and making the consumer feel like they've got a full product that hasn't been skimped in any way, shape or form. Now, I do have a small theory as to why the Armstrong Powerhouse have done this. We are slightly verging on the tinfoil hat side of these theories, but I don't think this theory is that all implausible. It's certainly realistic, but I don't have that much compelling evidence on my side, so to all my viewers, please take this theory with a grain of salt. My theory is that they introduced this Enhancement Pack level for their sound packs just before the 91 Enhancement Pack was released. And the reason why I'm guessing they did that was because every single sound pack they've done for quite some time now has been at the pro level, and whilst that's perfectly fine for us consumers, in a way it could be bad for business. I'm not too sure about that. So they introduced this Enhancement Pack level so they can cash more money in, especially for trains that people have asked for sound packs for a long time. The only bit of evidence I have is if you look in the file directory, you'll see that the Class 91 Enhancement Pack is under C91P. However, P normally implies Pro, not Enhancement Pack. I mean, if it was an Enhancement Pack from the ground up, wouldn't it be called C91EP? Wouldn't that make a bit more sense? If there's one thing I can't stand more than scummy business models, it's hypocrisy. And that's three things from the Armstrong Powerhouse. There's lying about the weary lines, inconsistency that'll give Dovetail a run for their money, and now hypocrisy. Could they possibly do anything else to top that? Alright, that's enough laughing for now. So, well, it seems that the Armstrong Powerhouse are in a bit of legal trouble with regards to Virgin Trains and the use of their logos and liveries in payware products without their permission. Oh dear. It's most likely a cease and desist, since they've spent the past few days re-uploading their trailers to make sure there's no trace of Virgin in them whatsoever, as well as pictures, descriptions, and of course removing all Virgin branding and liveries from their scenario packs, sound packs, enhancement packs, etc, etc. The original trailers haven't been deleted, the Armstrong Powerhouse have simply just set them to private. It makes me chuckle, it's almost as if they expect this cease and desist situation to magically all solve within the afternoon. Will that be the case? I don't know actually. Unsurprisingly, the community is very upset over these recent events. Some people are so upset that they've had to resort to pressing a button to tell people that they are upset. I've seen many posts complain, and even a comment where somebody said they're gonna go as far as boycotting Virgin. Wow, okay, good luck with that. Let's not forget that Virgin pretty much have the East Coast Main Line and the West Coast Main Line by the conkers. Yeah, I know, Virgin Media, TiVo, Virgin Mobile, who uses those anyway? This isn't 2004. So, what are my thoughts regards to the situation? Well, the quote that I've come up with is that I show no sympathy to the man who builds his house upon a minefield. Virgin had every right to intervene in regards to them profiting off their logos. Oh, but haven't you got DMCA'd in the past? Yes, I have, but remember, that was a fraudulent DMCA claim that was made by people who don't know anything about copyright law or fair use. Virgin's situation, assuming it's a cease and desist, which it most likely is, as I've said already, is 100% legit. They have every right to intervene in a situation like this. What's funny is that the Armstrong Powerhouse were originally not going to include the VTech reskins for the 91 Enhancement Pack, but then everyone was saying, give us the VTech, give us the VTech, give us the VTech. So they gave in. Then a few weeks later, cease and desist. You really can't make this stuff up. Now, there is only one true way to show your respect for the loss of these Virgin liveries across all the Armstrong Powerhouse products, and that is to raise from your chair, put your hand on your heart, aim for the keyboard, and press F to pay respects. All together now.
You were good, son, real good. Maybe even the best.
At least it died for honour. And my amusement! Well, that's all I've got to say regards to that palaver. Oh, people who have created freeware reskins of trains in the Virgin livery have nothing to fear really. Again, they're just freeware reskins and thus not making any money from them. If you are, on the other hand, then you can expect Virgin to knock on your door. Okay, now with that over and done with, quickfire thoughts. 205. Yeah, I think the 205 was alright. Again, I like the NRN, the sounds are pretty good. It has a passenger view, however, you can't see the doors open from them. Whoops. And it has that really neat door script, which makes it more realistic when you're at small stations. I like that. Mark II pack. It's nice of them to join the ranks of Dovetail and continuously trivialise departmental stock. Thank you so much for doing that. And they included every livery, of course, except this one. And they even kept the door script that was featured in the 205. Or not. Whoops-a-daisy. The Mark II sounds have also been changed, they're much cleaner now, and I do appreciate that. But $9.99 does seem a bit dear, to say the least. And the Wery Lines is on Steam. Oh dear. Well, fortunately, I've already reviewed this route a few episodes ago, so if you want to hear my thoughts about that, go to episode 25? It should be episode 25 if I'm not mistaken. And it's also nice to see that DRS were very cooperative regards to using their logos on the Steam edition. Oh, never mind, no logos. People have been asking me which one is better, the one on Steam or the one directly from the Armstrong Powerhouse, which are both priced the same, 25 quid, which means the Armstrong Powerhouse reduced the price. Gee, I wonder what could cause them to do that. But to answer the question that my viewers have, well, I'll put it to you like this. Does Lower Stuff have a custom model yet? No. Then stay clear and invest in something else more worthwhile. Oh, I'm finally done this episode. I am so sorry it took so long, but here you go. 36 fantastic minutes of the fantastic Train Sim News Show. Oh, I need a rest. I do have a couple more video ideas to do over the next few weeks, maybe months, but I really need a rest. Thank you so much for watching, and I think it's appropriate to end this video whilst watching a train leaving Finsbury Park. Goodbye!